Hey, welcome to episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. So as I'm filming this, Hurricane Milton's coming in tonight. So thought I'd do this beer has nothing to do with hurricanes, but it does have to do with Florida. This is one fairly local to me. I bought it just off the name and the label alone. The Dude White Russian Milk Stout. Brewed and canned by Ormond Brewing Company, 6.5 ABV. And it's actually pretty fresh. It looks like it's June 11th of this year, so 4 months old, yeah. Before we get into the pour, I just wanted to show the brewery's website, because what they show on here is a little different. Obviously, the labels change, but they say, with notes of of roasted coffee, cream, vanilla, and chocolate. And it's 6.5, because like Untappd it just said coffee made with chocolate, and it had a different ABV and all that. So if you scroll down here, it doesn't mention coffee or vanilla or anything, I mean, it does say oats and lactose sugar, but I don't see coffee on here, so I don't know if there's actual coffee in it or not. Anyway, pour it into the glass. It's brown coming out of the can, black once it's in the glass, and actually gets a pretty decent, 3 fingers of kind of brown foam, but it has mostly dissipated, not completely unsurprised, but okay. Well, I will say this does smell very roasty. Yeah, very roasty malt. I will say, I'm not smelling coffee specifically. To me, it's more roasty. So it's just like straight up roasty malt. But maybe we'll taste it. Let's see what's going on with this one. Cheers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would probably say that this is... I don't think there's any actual coffee in here. I think that is just off the roasted malt. Yeah, so up front it's really roasty. This is like the roasty flavor that I want in an imperial stout. Which actually, I wish the Abraxas and the Bombraxas had that much roasty character to it. I also like the roasty flavor is definitely reminiscent of coffee, especially like black coffee or cold brew coffee, but it's not the flavor of coffee. I'm usually pretty good at telling, if a beer has coffee in it or not. I don't think it just because it said notes of coffee, and that lactose is giving it kind of like a sweet kind of flavor. I mean, because it also said notes of vanilla. I would say, yeah, I would agree with that. There's a note of vanilla in here. Oats will do that. Lactose will do that. They don't have to actually throw any vanilla beans or extract in there to get that character. So yeah, I mean, this is just a solid, by today's standards, old school stout, because it actually is just except for the oats and lactose, it's a pretty, basic building block beer. Yeah, so this nice kind of 1-2 combination of roasty malt, kind of bitter up front, and then immediately that lactose and the oats come in with a sweet kind of vanilla flavor. And then it finishes kind of equally. So it's this kind of, it's the same aftertaste you would have of I don't know how you take your coffee, but I like a lot of cream and sugar in mine. So it's this, bittersweet aftertaste of the roasty, the bitter roasty malts. They didn't mention that. Oh, just for hops, it just says noble hops. So I mean, that's interesting, because they could, except be Saz or Tettnang or Holler, any of those. But so usually noble hops to me are very peppery, maybe a little earthy or floral. But I'm not. I mean, the hops, I think they're used pretty sparingly here, because I think the roasty malt is accounting for a lot of the bitterness. Really, really drinkable, I will say. Really smooth. It's not super thick. I would probably put it at medium, a little over medium full, if you want to, if we have to, put an absolute number on it. Even though that's not a number. Carbonation is probably the opposite, probably medium low. Obviously, with the lactose and the oats, it has a smooth, somewhat silky kind of texture. Goes down really smooth. I get no alcohol presence from the 6.5 at all. But yeah, this is it's like a dessert stout, but without the actual dessert in it. It's just a nice, old school kind of, stout for the sake of stout. Also a pretty cool label. Actually, this looks blurry, but maybe that's just the way that it was printed or whatever. But yeah, I really like this one. I'm gonna go pretty high. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 for the Dude White Russian Milk Stout. I mean, it's kind of a slightly misleading name, because it's not really coffee or liqueur tasting or anything. Like, this does not taste like Kahlua. It's just standard milk stout or oat stout or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, nice. It's funny because like nobody really makes these beers anymore. So like this actually is kind of a novelty by today's standards. So, all right, I am rambling. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Hopefully I survived Hurricane Milton. If you're watching this, that's probably why. So I got to get some beer in the fridge. I'm running out. These are meant for Tuesday Night Beer School from a long time ago, and it's a long story on that. So, all right, if you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Teetotaler Thursday. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.